She was there. That's good. That's a nice feeling.
Shannon go.
Over like 1,000 contracts.
Yeah, she was Ellie would be good. Okay. Look forward to working with you. So your Eagles are on a roll. My Steelers stink. Oh, good for you. Well, we have something in common already. There you go. Yeah, they're pathetic. Big Ben. I mean, he's got to go. There's no question about that. He's up and down the last couple of years. So we'll see what happens.
Can't even block that number because they're always going around.
Yeah, well.
He always pulls my cord, so it don't matter when it's at home and all.
I'll call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners order. Please rise for a moment of silence prayer. Pledge of allegiance.
Father, we thank you for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room on Zoom, as well as the lives that we will encounter afterwards. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. For only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held December 23rd, 2021.
Move to approve. Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
The first item is a resolution for adoption recognizing Mr. Ronald J. Sheehan of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania on his retirement.
Motion adopt. Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. I'll just read a few of these things here. We don't want to be here all day with all the things that Ron is.
Oh, God.
Come out of the room or go
Right. I can read it if you want.
You know, Ron Sheehan, he's been a native of Jim Thorpe, a lifelong resident of Carbon County and treasurer for the last 19 years and just about 20 now, completing your 20th year. So thank you, Ron. Graduated from Jim Thorpe High School in '83 and served in local government for 37 years, not only with the county, but with Jim Thorpe Borough Council, Vice President of the Planning Commission, Secretary to and Jim Thorpe Civil Service Commission Secretary, and different positions throughout the borough and community. Also served as the Accountant Fiscal Deputy in Carbon County Controller's Office from '92 to 2001, till he became the county treasurer. Ron was elected treasurer for his first 4-year term, beginning January 7th, 2002, and his last day of service will be January 2nd, 2022. David Brown, your days are numbered there. Well, how does it feel? But as you can see, even from the newspaper article, et cetera, all the organizations that Ron has been involved in over the years. I'm not going to read them all, but it's with great pleasure that we adopt this resolution today. And having served with you for 20 of those years, really 22 if you want to count the 2 years in the controller's office, it has really been a pleasure. You have been great to work with, and especially with the retirement board, being on that board, you were always you and Bob at that time had always been the go-to person for issues throughout your serving on that retirement board. So at this time, it's a great pleasure if I call you up here, and I'm gonna make you come up front because the camera may want to see you, may not. But another big thing, one of the things that's not listed is Ron's real sense of humor. Let me come back. His real sense of humor and his jolliness throughout the years, and always making light of not a situation, but Ron, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and So thank you so much for your service and your friendship.
Thank you, no, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner. It's really been great the last 20 years serving the public, and over the years, I have made a great number of friendships, both colleagues within the county as well as constituents, and it's been a tremendous journey. And as I start the next phase of my life, that being retirement, I take with me a lot of fond memories. So thank you all very much for recognizing my service. Thank you.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
The report of executive sessions held.
There were 3 executive sessions held on December 27th, 2021 at 10 a.m., December 28th, 21 at 1:30 p.m., December 28th at 2 p.m., all for personnel reasons.
Next item, final adoption, the 2022 budget. For adoption, the 2022 budgets inclusive of the following. Operating fund budgets, expenditures totaling $57,858,856. Capital project funds budgets, expenditures totaling $10,100,000. Special funds budget, expenditures totaling $19,337,602.
Motion approved.
Second.
Actually, just as a procedure point, since this motion, as I understand it, was the same motion that was presented 2 weeks ago and was voted down.
Mhm.
We first need a motion to rescind the motion that was made on December the 16th.
Okay,
Okay, I'll make that motion to rescind.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Now you can make your motion on this one for adoption.
We can still make the motion to adopt the same budget correctly with the tax, whatever
Well,
tax increase or
This is,
not.
No,
we're
this
not
is
there
only
yet.
expense.
Okay.
This is only expensive.
Okay, I'll make the motion to accept as is.
Second,
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
No.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Next item is the budget resolution for adoption, resolution number 21-031. This was previous agenda item number 21-593. And this is the same resolution that calls for a $0.5 tax increase.
Motion to approve.
No, this was
Table,
tabled.
that's what I'm saying. This was tabled, so we don't need a motion to rescind.
So this is table, so we just, but this isn't the tax increase involved, or is it?
Yeah.
It does list a $0.5 tax increase.
Okay,
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Hearing none, motion dies for lack of a second. Is there an alternate budget resolution to be presented?
would like, and I know they had all these numbers on here, but the ones that I have do not have the numbers on it. But my point of it would be, I would like to make a motion to adopt the one with the no tax increase. And I would like to have that on discussion.
Is there a second?
I'll second, just for discussion. What I think this board really needs to do is not look at the past, what the fund balance has been in the past, but look at the future. We don't know at this time what the future is gonna bring as far as changes in hiring, insurance costs, or retirement costs, state or federal mandates or cuts, building issues, equipment failures, leaky roofs, etc. And I feel at this time to do a no tax increase whatsoever, the first year alone, we would be losing $2.2 million plus in the general fund operating deficit, 2.2. And that, to me, is just building the debt for future boards or commissioners in another year, even next year with what occurs. I don't have a problem with reducing maybe that 1.4 million plus under the $500,000 that failed to pass, but I cannot see continually drawing from the general fund operating fund. The balance in there, it's going to come back to haunt the board, this board, or future boards in the very near future. You cannot keep cutting or taking that amount of funding out of that general fund operating. And to me, no tax increase whatsoever is a huge mistake that's going to hurt the taxpayers in the long run. So those are my comments on a no tax increase.
And I go back to what I've been standing on for probably 2 weeks already. And a budget is a spending plan where the money goes to. With this proposed budget, we're rolling over $1 million and increasing the budget. We have buildings that need repairs and have inadequate HVAC systems that are costing the taxpayer money. It's time to use the money the taxpayers and the American Rescue Plan gave us to do the right thing. And I still stand on it. I think we have to, I'd like to still have this motion at a zero, to be adopted at a zero tax increase.
So as Commissioner Notzey mentioned about looking into the future, we could actually simply look into the past. And what we see is as taxes go up, spending continues to go up. And there is a precedent for that here in Carbon County. And part of that is a lack of fiscal discipline when it comes to wages, salaries, those benefits that make up over half of our operating budget. And I suspect with about the 20 positions that are nominated for establishment on 3 January, plus additional positions to move from part-time to full-time. And then what I would expect my colleagues, once again, to give a 3% increase across the board will continue to put us in dire fiscal straits. Adopting any tax increase will simply give those individuals who want to continue lack of fiscal responsibility and discipline to take advantage of the funds that remain. In regards to the opening balance, no time, I'll just go back to 2015. The April balance, and we know April is the point at which we go from knowing no tax revenue coming in, and we kind of transfer over to May as we see tax revenue. It was really, we still had a balance of $2.9 million. And I highlight that one because that's the lowest it's gone. We see this year almost a 15 to 20% increase in the opening balance to just over $11 million. Therefore, it's clear that any absolutely necessary spending increases due to inflation, other maybe unforeseen circumstances, is and will be covered easily by that opening balance. Therefore, I'll stand against any increase at this time in the current tax millage rate.
Let me also caution you that last year you made the statement, and will probably this year, about the cost of living increases for employees. Well, it was 1.9 or less than 1% last year. It went to over 6%, so we did give 3 last year. And with a 3% increase this year, we did 6%. So we're going to get your own thoughts there as far as any increases. Again, if you look what is happening at our prison with the additional staffing requirements to staff that prison, the problems we have there, the additional staffing at children and youth in particular, and the requests for many other positions or a few other positions in other offices. You cannot continue to do that or meet the needs for the children in this county in particular without doing something for these people and increasing their salary, because we had such a large turnover because of salaries. And the payment, salary of $11, $12, even $13 is ludicrous for the quality of work or the amount of work our people are really doing.
I think, Commissioner, though, if you look at the CPIU and just going back 5 years, so it gave a 3% increase all those years, that adds up to 15, right? You look, though, at the CPIU, it was just about a total inflation of about 10. So you really still are about where we need to be when it comes to keeping up with inflation. If you do any trend analysis, you'll see for this year, once the December number comes out, we'll probably be about a 4.6% inflation rate over the past 12 months. So that would still give a 0.4, all right, above inflation if we're simply looking at the inflation rates. It doesn't mean we don't have to do things to remain competitive and to hire individuals of great skill and quality. But I think the argument on my previous comment about inflation are irrelevant, particular at this moment.
And I think some of the things that people got to know too, I know they were talking about increasing full-time. And what we have done is taking, like I think one area we took like 15 part-time jobs and left some part-time and made them full-time. So this isn't really costing us any more for the budget than it was before. Because we had some of these departments that had 15 positions that are empty. And it was all through this, and I said this before, I don't like part-time people, because how do you schedule for part-time people? Our best thing is to have full-time people, and then within this budget, there is money to give people the money that they deserve. You know, and I said, we have to go back to this. We've been wasting money for, I could say even for us, for the last 2 years, by not fixing these buildings. I mean, this HVAC system in here has probably, I don't know what it's been costing us, but it runs for heat and then it gets too hot and then it runs for air conditioning to cool it down. This is probably the most inefficient building in the county. And then we go over to the courthouse and I joke around it, but I'm not kidding. That boiler over there came over in Mayflower, you know, and it's a shame that we sit here and could make money off of repairing. And we have this, the ARP plan and all the money that the taxpayers gave us. Right there it is to use, that we could curb this spending. And once we get into the next part of this, like we're paying the bills, you'll see some of the things that I see in paying our bills that we got to start correcting.
Commissioner Arner, you mentioned that in this budget, there's money to pay the employees, the great employees we have, what they deserve. But that's actually inaccurate. $650,000 are set aside for contingency. You talk about the boiler, things like that jump up, you know, are covered through that. Obviously, there's the capital fund also. But the fact is, a 3% across the board pay raise for non-union employees would be between $300,000 and $350,000. So we're talking salary, benefits, responsibilities that the county has to pay FICA, things of that nature. That's before any consideration of the 20 plus positions being sought for establishment, the multitude, you know, the 40 pages of multiple step increases that are proposed. And again, we as a board have not demonstrated any fiscal discipline when it comes to the annual salary board to keep those costs in check.
And that's for like my proposal, even for this year, we got to start looking at the budget in June, maybe in September, and then in October, November, when we're getting down to the, you know, the nitty gritty where what we got to do. And I think like all these things that are in this budget, we have so much in here that salaries that we will never hire these people. There are projects that we're working on, are they gonna happen? You know, I don't know. I don't see any of this. And until I would see that, I think it's time to sit down and start over. And I'm not looking back to 2 years ago, 4 years ago. I've only been on the board for 2 years. And I think it's time to correct this now. And I think by stopping this with a zero tax increase, and then we'll collect our thoughts next year. And if we have to have an increase, then I'll be responsible for that. This is not a political thing that you don't have a tax raise the year before the election. This is doing the right thing for the people right now. So my motion is zero tax increase.
I'll second.
The first motion was for- Okay.
Yeah, I think I seconded it.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
So what is this for?
Okay.
Zero tax.
You're
Okay,
second,
zero tax increase.
and you
Second,
seconded.
yeah.
Mr. Warner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
No.
First, you have to go through the, you have to get rid of this one. This is table,
All right, we have to get rid of that.
yeah.
So this, the next item on the agenda is table at the meeting on December 16th. So this motion as presented, the tax levy resolution is the same one that was presented on December 16th.
Okay.
Okay, so, for adoption, resolution number 21032, previous agenda number 21594.
And that
This
was,
represents a half.
That was the
a
half. I'll make that motion
To,
to get rid of it.
just let it die. I just let it die.
Yeah,
Just-
Okay.
I wouldn't- I
Yeah.
just not.
okay, that's fine with me.
okay,
Okay, no motion.
Unless-
lack of.
Unless-
I'll make the motion, because I certainly think you guys are wrong in delaying this, because the long-term effect, you're just gonna have to increase taxes even higher by maybe 2 mils in a year or two, instead of a half mil now and a half mil later, so.
As long as we're on
I
the
say-
same keep our mouth.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. There's not a lot in matter.
No, we're trying to.
He was going to make a motion to deny the
Right.
Yeah,
motion. Right, he
I
did.
made the
but he has to
motion.
make the motion to
Yeah.
keep it.
Wayne has a motion that I
Yes.
suspect is gonna die for lack of a
Yeah.
second.
Right.
So there's only one more.
Right.
One motion.
To approve it. Wayne made the motion to approve it. There's no second.
1 second. Motion dies. Do we have an alternate motion? An alternate tax
move-
levy
I
resolution?
move to make the motion to adopt the resolution that shows no increase in the millage rates.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
No.
Three cents. Three cents. Oh, yeah, right. But no, I don't.
No?
No. Sorry about that.
No, that's good.
Mine's elsewhere. How we're going to save all this money after you just mentioned all these projects. Okay.
I think I should have retired at that.
So, okay.
Okay. We have a budget showing no tax increase. Department reports, the budget transfers,
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
There are no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures, approval of payroll check numbers 74101 through 74118. And direct deposit check numbers 6037671 through 6038110 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $626,728.53. This is the payroll dated December 30th, 2021.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 225531 through 225711 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $421,958.70.
Motion approved on discussion.
Second.
This is something that we had approved a check a couple of years ago, or last week, or week before. And it was check number 225553. And this was something that had to do with our permitting. And what wound up happening, and I don't know if this is the correct place to do it, to correct it, because I don't want to run out of time before this is corrected. On the date that this was done, Tony Ganguza and myself went to the Jim Thorpe Borough and we had a permitting problem. And what wound up happening, nobody told the contractor not to come here, all right? And that's my problem with it. My problem is not the contractor being paid, because they showed up to work. Nobody told them that. And what wound up happening, we got a bill for $5,056.48. I don't think that was our problem. I went to the Jim Thorpe Borough and actually apologized, and you can check their notes. In fact, some of the council members came up there and thanked me for apologizing, and we want to start over. But my problem is, and this goes on to what we want to do the whole year, do we want to pay for things that we're not getting? You know, we had somebody that was directing all these people that were supposed to do this, and we're supposed to pay for their mistakes. And I would like to make a motion, or myself, I would accept everything except that check number 225553. I don't know if that's possible, or if we
And I
do it.
believe these checks were dated for last week, however,
Yes,
due to office closings, the checks have not gone out, so if you wanted this check pulled, I believe we have the ability to do it.
I think it's more of a legal matter.
Was the check in question payable to a contractor?
no, it was to the Boyle Construction.
I think
The
we had
contractor,
30
I-
days or something anyhow, so we could at least, approve
No,
it.
I'm just wondering.
Just Just to have this corrected.
Yeah, you could make a motion to approve all of them except for check
And
number.
I can have that check.
Yeah, and then they'll hold it.
Okay, then I make the motion to approve all the numbers except 22553.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes,
Treasurer's report, we will receive that at a later time. The personnel report for county departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Acknowledgements for court and row offices.
Motion acknowledged.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
There is no correspondence received. Advertising for approval, authorize the advertisement for bid for LP gas delivery and equipment services for various county locations.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
For approval, authorize the advertisement for proposals for pest control services for various county locations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Authorize the advertisement for proposals for sewage removal services for various county locations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yeah.
Children and youth for approval and execution fiscal year 2021, 2022. Purchase of service agreements were submitted for the following providers: Carbon County right from the start, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania; Pine Brook Family Answers of Allentown, Pennsylvania, as per the attached rates.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
yes,
Emergency Management for ratification, the 2021 State Homeland Security Grant Program agreement between the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency, and the Northeast Pennsylvania Regional Counterterrorism Task Force. The term of the agreement is September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2024, with a total award of $916,022. And this is for the counties of Carbon, Lackawanna, Lehigh, Luzerne, Monroe, Northampton, Pike, Susquehanna, Wayne, and Wyoming.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Information technology for ratification, termination of the agreement with Intelidata for a fiber data transmission line for the temporary location at 410 Center Avenue, Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, effective December 20th, 2021. This agreement was originally approved on October 1st, 2020. Agenda item number 2478.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Professional services for acceptance of proposal received from Pearson Agency of Lehigh, Pennsylvania for the appraisal of rental space property located at 530 Cole Street, Lehigh Borough, at a cost of $650.
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For acceptance of proposal from Pearson Agency of Lehigh, Pennsylvania for appraisal of rental space property located at 1201 North Street, Suite 1 in Jim Thorpe Borough at a cost of $650.
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Union agreements for ratification. Agreement to extend the provisions of the collective bargaining agreement between the county and AFSCME AFL-CIO District Council 87, Local 2483, for the court-appointed professional employees through January 14th, 2022. The current CBA expires December 31st, 2021.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Teamsters for approval and execution. Extension to the current collective bargaining agreement with Teamsters Local 773 due to expire December 31st, 2021. Parties agree all terms and conditions of the previous agreement will remain in effect through January 7th, 2022, unless otherwise extended in writing by both parties.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
ZNA for approval and execution. Letter of agreement with Zelkowski Axelrod LLC of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for financial consulting services for the year 2022 for a fee not to exceed $87,500. This represents no increase from 2021.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The solicitor's report.
Thank you for approval and execution of agreement between the county, Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations Office, and Attorney Deborah Smith for provision of professional legal services as domestic relations hearing officer and custody divorce master. Compensation shall be $60,000 in 12 monthly installments of $5,000. The term of the agreement shall be January 1, 2022 through December 31, 2025.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion. Greg, next week, are there any hearings scheduled for the hearing officer and custody divorce master?
She's scheduled for Thursday, the 6th.
Thursday. I think Commissioner Harder, this goes back to a comment you just made a moment or two ago. Pay for things we're not getting. The fact is, I'm not sure, and I don't think the courts are sure that we're getting our bang for our buck on this. And what I'd like to consider, I have my colleagues consider a motion to table until next Thursday morning so that we can get the data to show the hours that are being utilized to provide this service at $60,000. I understand she's expected to be here for some amount of time, Tuesdays and Thursdays, to do these hearings. But again, I haven't seen any data to support that. So it seems like a 1 week tabling so that the courts can provide clarity on what we're paying for. I'd also say, Commissioner Arner, and Commissioner Notstein, that we tend to revert back to an A when we rehire a position once someone departs. If you recall, this position was actually at 55,000 on 1 October 2020. The decision was made to take it up $5,000 for this particular individual. And I think that has to be re-examined also. So I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to table for 1 week so that the courts can provide greater fidelity on what we're getting for the 60,000.
Okay, before you request a table for 1 week, there's no regular commissioners meeting until
That's right.
January 13th.
Then I would be making that motion because of having it Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And unless the court say that's sufficient time to provide the information.
Any comments, Mr. Armstrong?
I can't speak for President Judge, depending, we got scheduled events beginning on the 6th, and following 13th, 14th. The schedule did change to Thursday night for her for the divorce of custody.
So we're meeting the guidelines to have this posted in time for the meeting. Can we get this on the agenda without a problem with the holidays to have it posted
For Monday.
for Monday's meeting? Is that sufficient time? The person, you say the first hearing's on Thursday next week?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, but it's not just the hearings that she's doing, right? I mean, she has to prepare for the hearings, and there's also administrative duties that are required also.
Yes, I mean, she's in the process of getting organized right now, Night 46, that includes online docket research for the upcoming cases. So yes, she's scheduled to be here on the 6th, but there is work that occurs at home to prepare.
You offhand know why the request for $5,000 more was presented?
The original contract for attorney deal was for 5,000 per year flat for a 4-year term, beginning in 2016 through October 2020. At that point, the contract was negotiated at 60,000 for 5 years with no increases on an annual basis. Sort of a compromise that was reached to increase it, but you have to account for new increases, regardless of the changes in case loads or anything like that.
And I think we've seen that notable increase actually didn't help retain her any longer, right? She's here simply a year out of a multi-year contract.
A year and 3 months.
Okay,
But
yeah.
yes, she found a
Yeah.
a much more.
Right.
To keep it back to a very fortunate contracts.
Right.
Pick up common law,
Mm.
work for the judges.
Mm.
Get
Yes.
rid
The other issue, I think, is like, since these are, and maybe if you can briefly describe what these 4D contracts are, because it's just not, these contracts had to be sent to the Commonwealth and approved, is that correct?
Yes, and the contract for 4D services for domestic relations has been approved to begin January 1 of this coming year.
This contract,
No, that would be
Before
the other
motion.
motion.
Separate motion.
Okay.
Agenda 21-64.
And that is reimbursable through domestic, correct?
66% of those expenses are reimbursed to domestic relations by the state.
At what amount? 100%?
66%.
What is it?
66.
66.
I was not going to raise any concern with the next motion. 125 is what we were paying previously, and it seemed reasonable, given the number of hours worked. And thank you, Greg, for getting that information.
so there's a motion table until,
Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock, in expectation that we'll be able to collect data to better understand the service.
So, and I think we did discuss this before, but if I look at this even over a 4-year period of time, even like how the raises were going at 3%, we would actually be under this Because I'm looking at, it would be $1,250 a year increase to this, which would be actually under the percentage. So, I mean, I really don't have a problem with it that way. I mean, if a position did not get a raise for 4 years, that's something that we have to look at. And I don't think it's overextending on what we've been doing for all the employees.
I think that was what was presented to us because it was not increased over the 4 years is why they had it for 60.
And even like, I mean, I know Chris had concerns over that too. And he even made the comment that people are just leaving. We can't compete with anybody that's paying people 90,000 for this same position. Like, it doesn't really matter what we pay them unless we're gonna pay them 90. You know, it comes down to that. But I mean, for this increase, I think it's fair within the 4-year time period or 3-year, if you want to call it. So I would make that motion to keep it as this.
So
Yeah.
Commissioner.
But he's making the motion to table.
Yeah.
Discussion continues.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
hold on, I want to clarify, so those 4 years, 2016 to 2020, October 1, when we redid it, we renegotiated a new contract that had a $5,000 increase. What was the CPIU over those 4 years? I mean, how much did we exceed the realistic increase? I know that we gave the former board gave 3% each of those years, but again, that exceeded the inflation rate. So let's go ahead back, just like we do on any other position, reestablish it where it was, and from that point, negotiate it versus just throwing the high number out there.
I have a question. I'm a little confused as to why we're talking about this person as an employee. Is this a professional contract or is it an employee?
It's a contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it's
we're
contract.
mixing apples and oranges
Yeah.
with CPI and
Yeah.
raise. And actually, this is a fee for professional services,
Mhm.
just like an architect,
Yeah.
an attorney, well, this would be an attorney fee. And I'm getting a little confused because we're comparing it to like a 3% raise. And
Because the argument was made last October to increase it in that fashion.
I thought it was just a renegotiated contract, but if that's the way it was proposed
Well,
last year,
well,
right?
in the executive session discussions, that was part of it. It was a modification for inflation.
Okay, I was just getting a little confused because
Yes,
it's a professional services contract.
Yep.
But we're kind of talking about it as a
comparative.
increase for meritorious service or time. Like, you know.
Mhm.
Okay, I was just a little confused as to why we're doing that. Okay.
We have a motion to table. Is there a second to the motion to table?
Now we need is there a motion to approve the agreement as outlined?
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
No,
Mr. Knopstein.
Yes.
The next item, domestic relations for approval and execution and agreement between the county, domestic relations office, and Deborah Smith, attorney, for provision of professional legal services provided under Title 4D cooperative agreement as domestic relations hearing officer at the rate of $125 per hour. The term of the agreement is January 1, 2022 to December 31, 2025.
Motion to approve and execute.
second,
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
yes,
Mr. Knopstein.
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business?
Just want to mention again about the swearing in ceremony that will be in the courtroom number 1 on Monday morning at 9:30. I stand corrected. I said 10:30 last week. There have been some changes to the program. There will be no refreshments at the end if you were coming for that. Sorry. Masks are strongly encouraged. The program has been scaled back somewhat with the swearing in of the row offices, or not the row offices, but the court offices in particular, will be done virtually by the judges, correct, Greg? The row office, or court offices.
We have a staggered schedule for the court employees after the ceremony.
So it will be done later to try to keep the number of people down in the courtroom. It is still open to the public, however. We do request, strongly encourage that people do wear masks. Okay. Anything else on that you can think of, Greg, that I may have missed or you want to cover? We will have three, the officers being sworn in this time are the President Judge Nanovic reelected, as well as the Honorable Judge Matika reelected. And the Clerk of Courts, Tyra Boney, reelected. Register of Wills and Orphans Court, Jean Papay, reelected. And newly elected will be the only newly elected official at this time for the county anyway, is Kevin Zelinska with the Treasurer's Office. So again, the court offices will be, those officers or the people in those three particular offices will be done at that time. Okay. As well as the oath of office for any municipal officials who may wish to be sworn in at that time. So, okay, anything else?
Commissioners reports, Mr. Arner?
Now we have a few things. We did get donations again for the dog shelter this week. It's like, it's good to see ongoing things like this weekly. And Geraldine and James Malloy donated $1,000. And our past election director, Kenneth Leffler, donated in memory of Leslie McAlush, $200. And one other thing, I'd just like to go back to Ron for a minute, and I will read this, Ron. In 1984, Ronald was appointed the secretary and booking director of Memorial Park Commission. He served on Jim Thorpe Borough from 1988 to 1995, with 8 years as chairman administration and 6 years as council vice president. Jim Thorpe Planning Commission secretary from 1995 to 2000, and the Jim Thorpe Civil Service Commission secretary from 1999 to 2002. And one of the things that I think I want to point out to everyone, he was the director, executive director of the Asa Packer Mansion. And he was very instrumental in what that place looks like now. And I think, Ron, you should be very proud of that there and all the things that you have accomplished. And like I said, I got you on speed dial. I mean, we have a new treasurer and, I'm looking forward to working to him, but I'm sure he might even be asking questions, and so will all the other board members on things that, everybody will have to learn. You've been a fixture here. So thank you.
Yeah, two things. First, not to embarrass, but to show appreciation for attendance, let me recognize in the audience from Jim Thorpe, Second Lieutenant Brandon Carroll, the U.S. Army, who's here on leave, and he's accompanied by Cody Cazares, who's a senior advisor to U.S. Representative Michael McCall from the Fighting 10th District in Texas, if I recall correctly. Representative McCall is also the ranking Republican member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. So appreciate your attendance here, Cody, also. Secondly, I want to talk about a historical event, revenue generating event that occurred. 15:25 hours kiosk time, number 10 down here on 26 December. A young couple came in, parked, went to the kiosk, paid their $12 and put the county over the $1 million mark of revenue, parking generated revenue. So thank them and the multitudes that visit Jim Thorpe and Carbon County. I would note that parking revenue is up 105% since 2019. Vehicles have gone from just over 60,000 in 2019 to over 87,000 as of just a couple of days ago. So again, I think why is this? One, what Jim Thorpe in Carbon County has become as a tourist destination location. The work of PMVB and Carbon Chamber, unquestionably, their promotional work and their use of the hotel tax, which, is well spent in many cases. I think also you can't understate the role that the Reading Northern Blue Mountain Railroad pays. Just look at the parking traffic on those days compared to non-train days. The kiosks, no question, to include a little bit of expansion of enforcement hours, a slight increase in rates for the county lot this past year. And I think importantly too, is our parking team and a kind of a mentality transition that has taken place from just being parking staff to being goodwill ambassadors for Carbon County. And that brought us where we are today in revenue. And what's the so what? It takes some of the burden off us when it comes to tax increases, because we can use that tax revenue to pay to support our parks, to pay to support the parking infrastructure that we have. Ron, I gotta mention, no one is irreplaceable, but a few individuals do hit that point where they're seemingly irreplaceable, and definitely in the short term, and you have reached that pinnacle. So thank you for all you have done for the county and its residents, and then Happy New Year to everyone. That's all I have.
Ron, I want to know if you and Frankie or Zeno are going to go fishing together.
The county is losing two very valuable people.
Two long-serving people with the county. Congratulations and best
I
wishes.
think Frank has 42, just shy of 43 years of
for the
service.
county as well, so best of luck. Welcome, our guest. Thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the show today. We do disagree on a lot of things, but we do agree on a lot of things. I think we all have our heart in the right place and we want to do best.
We never have boring meetings.
No. Wait till Monday.
Monday will be another day. Back on lunch.
Right.
No, I'd say that's actually.
Yeah, back dinner.
Okay. Oh, yeah, regulate, just, again, I don't think you did mention Kenny Leffler with the donations, and that really helped us out at the animal show as well. Chris did mention one thing about the parking lot revenue, but we earmarked $1 million of that right now, and I mean, it's subject to change if we're we're going out to bid soon, I hope, on repaving of several lots, or looking at it. We're putting options in there. We want to pave the ground area, the upper end. Our parking lot is bad here, but prison lot is exceptionally bad, as well as some of the boat launch areas. So we were looking at doing all the lots. The amount of funds came in, or the estimated cost of doing all the parking lots at one time came in higher than we expected by about $500,000 maybe. So we may have to scale it back this year in order not to dip into the county general funds. And like Chris said, I've been adamant about it since for years already that anything out of that parking lot has to go towards the infrastructure such as paving, anything to do with parking, take care of the train station, the Zion White Park, etc. All comes out of that fund. At the end of the year, we reconcile the amount of hours that our maintenance people put into that parking lot. We're looking at a new booth. We talk about the 1 year we did buy a new pickup and plow for the parking lot, because that's what we use it for. So that parking lot, although our responsibility is only to county government, providing the parking spaces for the courts and the county offices, it does benefit in maintaining our other parking lots and projects as well. It'll be interesting in a couple of weeks. We made the motion today to advertise for bids for LP, the propane, sewer, and pest control. I want to see if they're going to be within 3% of our budget. I just want to point that out to you guys, because if it comes in high in a couple of weeks, I'm going to remind you what we did today. So
Inflation's transitory. It's transitory.
the things you don't plan for is what I'm concerned about. So Happy New Year to everyone, healthy New Year to everyone. I hope that January 22 sees the peak in the COVID. It's not good now. It's extremely bad right now. We do wear masks more. We strongly encourage it more. But we're not in a point that we're going to declare an emergency. It is what it is right now. The holidays will soon be behind us. And I certainly expect to see a peak, and hopefully by the end of January, we'll start to see a decline. So please, and I should mention on that, we just got notified this morning of the passing of a Lebanon County Commissioner, Bill Ames, who passed away yesterday from COVID, and he was an active member of the County Commissioners Association for the last 10 years. So, and he was a great guy, active in the Commissioners Association. So our regrets to Lebanon County and his family as well. Okay, meeting adjourned. Amy, I'll let you go first. Let me read this. Okay. Her questions, she wanted to submit for the press today in regards to the actions of the appraisal services and the rental space. These two locations, the one on Cole Street and Lehighton, would be for temporary court services or a courtroom during the elevator renovations or replacement, and the courthouse renovations, which we hope to start in fall. We'll need additional other courtrooms because of the noise and ability to hold court. And along those lines, we're also looking at a second facility with the Borough of Jim Thorpe at this time on an as-needed basis to enable us to continue courts without disruption from all the noise and renovations going on in the courthouse at that time. The other one on North Street here in Jim Thorpe would be for the Planning and Development Office. They were originally scheduled to go in the 44 building here, but because of space and issues and everything else, we'll be moving them up to the Jim Thorpe building. They're the last ones left in the school, other than the Mason property. No, Mason property. So you do check staff and offices back by the car wash. And as soon as we get everything in order there, and maybe by February sometime, we might be able to move that facility, as well as March 1st is the goal for the Cole Street project, because that's when the elevator project will start in the courthouse. So there will be some banging and carrying on there. So we need other locations so we can still hold court and answer Amy's questions. Emily, you have anything for us today?
So I'm just filling in for today, so I'm just kind of recapping the budget. I haven't been following this exactly. So no tax increase, everything can move as planned for
Yeah.
2022.
Oh, I don't know about his plan. When the money runs out.
It's moving.
And that's good. We'll be good for this year. Don't get me wrong. The money's there to do it, but you just can't keep taking that out of that general fund. That's my gripe. Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Anything else?
No.
Nothing, and I don't think,
Happy New Year.
yeah, happy New
Yeah.
Year. Thank you. And I don't think Kelly's on the call at all. So, okay, stay safe, everyone. Thank you.